What if I told you that a Zimbabwean had to pay like a million Zimbabwe dollars to buy a single US dollar? Yes, it's true. And this situation is created when a country faces hyperinflation. It takes many, many years to cope with this situation. Hyperinflation refers to the excessive increase of prices in an economy, resulting in things getting out of control. Generally, this is implemented when the rising costs of basic and essential goods become more than 50% per month. This rise is caused by excessive printing of paper money to meet the needs of the economy. Let's take a look at what hyperinflation is and 5 signs that indicate that hyperinflation is just around the corner. Number 1. Essentials prices have skyrocketed. The most common and main indication of hyperinflation is that the prices of the necessities like food, fuel, healthcare, etc. begin to rise daily, making the basic supplies scarce for everyday people. This increase makes stockpiling of essential products a must, subsequently creating a market shortage. Now, you must be wondering the reasons why the prices of essentials increase. Well, the demand for the prices increases with time, but the supply is limited. The prices go up as people are willing to pay more for it. The other reason that triggers the price action is that the production prices increase, which can be caused by government tax or increase in the price of raw material. So, when the production is costly, it automatically increases the cost of products. One last important note is that when the company knows that people are willing to pay more for the products, they increase the prices to earn larger profits. When the government knows that people are unable to buy the essentials and there is no solution to counter the situation, they just start printing more money, which causes hyperinflation. Number 2, hit by a pandemic crisis. If a country is going through a pandemic crisis, then this can definitely cause a hyperinflation. When a pandemic crisis happens, people need more health care. If the supply is limited for such things as medicine and simple care products, then this will lead to an emergency. As very few governments and states can prepare for such a sudden mishap, one common solution to resolve the shortage of health-related equipment and services such as vaccine shots, hospice care, sanitization equipment, etc., is to print more money so that citizens can have their basic health care met. If a pandemic crisis hits any country, it affects businesses on a large scale and makes small businesses close down. Those that survive must change the way they're running their business, such as working at home and virtual meetups. Abrupt pandemics can cause unemployment, driving the economy to fall. Moreover, in a pandemic crisis, the countries cannot export and import products, which causes a shortage of many products. Subsequently, their prices will rocket up, leaving the government unable to stimulate the economy. Therefore, they must print more money to get the economy running again. In recent years, many countries are near to hyperinflation due to the SARS 2019 virus, which almost bamboozled the world and is still destroying economies by freezing it. Number 3, going through a war. The worst thing that a country can go through is a war, as it's made superpowers like USA and Germany fall and undergo hyperinflation. The USA faced hyperinflation after World War II. In 1923, Germany faced hyperinflation by paying their debts, which drastically increased the inflation rate of 29,500%, essentially forcing the government to print more and more money. The governments can never estimate the cost of war. It can, however, put a country under huge debt and unmeasurable expenses, forcing them to print more and more money to cover for their expenses and debts. During the war, economies such as Germany became extremely vulnerable as almost zero imports and exports caused supply shortages. No one was doing business with them. Local productions were also hit hard because of supply and demand, making the people bear a considerable increase in all products as the demand increases and the supply is not there. On top of this, the taxation and public debts increase due to the high spending of the military during the war, and no one knows for how long this can happen for. Number 4, currency depreciation. Currency is just a piece of paper, but its value matters. Currency depreciation means devaluation of the currency. For example, if you were buying a banana for only a unit of currency a few weeks ago, and now for the same banana it costs thousands of units of currency, it means your currency is devalued. The currency depreciation contributes heavily to hyperinflation. Now, when currency depreciation happens, the exports become cheaper for foreign countries and the imports become expensive. This, without a doubt, heavily influences the citizens and subsequently the economy. When bank interest rates decline, it can directly cause the country's currency to depreciate. Lowering interest rates for a currency can make people invest elsewhere, exchanging their currency for another, thus making the supply of it increase and subsequently decreasing the demand for that currency. In the same sense, when the government decides to print out a ton of money for whatever reason it may be, it will cause the country's currency to fall drastically, as there is a much larger supply. With this, people's savings accounts become less valuable. With enough of this currency fluctuation, hyperinflation can happen quickly, even overnight. In 2008, Zimbabwe faced hyperinflation as a single U.S. dollar cost them 1 trillion Zimbabwe dollars. Before hyperinflation, it was 10,000 Zimbabwe dollars per U.S. dollar. Clearly, the conversion was not the best, but considering that the price multiplied 100 million times more, it makes 10,000 a lot better. The main reason for this was the massive decline in agricultural exports. Number 5. Huge debts. When a country is saddled with too much debt, it can lead to an economic collapse. They are more likely to experience periods of downturns, inflation, and unemployment. When the inflation rate increases more than 50%, they are forced to undergo hyperinflation. The countries borrow huge amounts of money for their particular projects and build better infrastructure for their people. But if things do not go well and they are unable to generate revenue that is required to pay the debt, they must increase taxes or print more money to pay off loans. One thing to note is that the government's spending increases debt. With a lack of fiscal discipline in place, it's only a matter of time before an economic bubble bursts. Hyperinflation is a disaster waiting to happen. It can have catastrophic consequences for the lives of millions and millions and millions of people. And it's not just an issue in other countries. It could affect anyone and everyone. Hey, please like and subscribe if you found this video helpful. Thanks, and we'll catch you on the next one.